Hello and welcome, true deceivers, to the Carnage Show, where we will be reviewing the Mangler of the Hour, the way Marvel Legends intended, with a brief origin story that will make your skin crawl. Carnage, a beloved foe for every Spider-Man aficionado, got his big debut with the web slinger in the Amazing Spider-Man Comics number 361. Every generation, a symbiote suit will reproduce asexually, and when Venom's suit did so, it happened to attach itself to a cellmate of Eddie Brock named Cletus Cassidy. He happened to be an insane serial killer, so the suit amplified his persona and made him appear as Red. Carnage became one of Spider-Man's most ruthless and frightening adversaries. He has the ability to shapeshift and conjure weapons. He can also throw projectiles out of his symbiote suit. Carnage has the ability for a limited mind control and an ability of spider sense. Unfortunately, he has limited regeneration, but is immune to earthly viruses. Through inheritance, he possesses physical strength that surpasses Spider-Man and Venom's combined. His weakness, similar to Venom's, was sensitivity to extreme heat and extreme sound, which would strip away his suit if he was exposed. My question is, who wouldn't want to own this villain's figure? He is straight awesomeness to his evil core. If you pick him up online, he will set you back 25 to 30 bucks, but this is entirely worth it, guys. No joke. All right, folks, let's get a look at his box, starting with the top. Marvel Spider-Man. He's part of the Build-A-Figure collection of the Green Goblin. Right on top, you get the Spider-Man emblem that is so sick. Marvel Legends Infinite Series, Spawn of Symbiotes, Carnage. Right on the side there is a picture of Spider-Man. If we turn that box around, there's a little excerpt we're going to read to you. It reads, "Destruction and mayhem have a new home. Living in the body of the demented Eddie Brock, will the vicious toxin out-savage the chaos-causing Carnage?" So just a little pit against each other there. Toxin and Carnage on the back. Awesome picture. Build-A-Figure series, of course, Green Goblin. There's your Green Goblin and your figures that you need to build that Green Goblin. Hasbro makes this toy. This, ladies and gentlemen, is just an awesome toy. Love him already, and he's not even out of the box yet. Can't wait to open this. Let's get started. Guys, when I got this Carnage out of the box, I was so amazed. He looks fabulous. So let's go ahead and do a size comparison between the Marvel Legends Carnage and then the Marvel Select Carnage right there. Let's see where they stack up. Looks like our Marvel Legends on the left is right at about 6.5 inches when he's straightened out. And then the Marvel Select on the right would be at about 6.5 to 7 inches once he's straightened out. So not too much of a difference between them, but I kind of prefer the Marvel Legends over the Marvel Select, and I'll tell you why. I'll give you some reasons. The Marvel Select figure has a foam head. This foam head is not movable. You cannot move that around. If you do, you're probably going to rip it off his head there. So not a good idea to be moving that head around. So no articulation, very little articulation in this one. Just basic bends. Nothing as fancy as the Marvel Legends Carnage. Also, he has a deeper red tone to him. I don't think that quite works for this Carnage. He looks okay, but he doesn't look as good as the Marvel Legends in the color scheme. So another thing I noticed, he's got the 3 fingers here, and he's got these little 2-pronged feet. Not a big fan of that. I mean, not for this look for Carnage. So those are the reasons I think the Legends is better. This guy is just amazing looking. He's got the 5 fingers. He's got this color scheme that just is amazing. Look at him. He's awesome. No, just regular feet. So he just looks like the comic Carnage to me. I really prefer him over the other. So make your own decisions, but I would choose Marvel Legends over Marvel Select any day with this one. Okay guys, what we're going to do next is get right into Carnage's articulation and sculpt. Starting with that head, I do like that the mouth is open, but I don't like that you cannot open or close it. There's no way to open or close that mouth. Kind of a bummer there. Oh well. But you know what? He does have some good articulation. He spins 360. Look at this bend on his head. Lord, he can look up high. And then there is a downward motion as well that he can look. That is very nice, very cool head sculpt. Now let's turn our attention over to his eyes. Close up on his eyes there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there is a reflective paint on his eyes that looks so cool, and it looks like you're looking into the eyes of an insect. It looks so awesome. So let's go ahead and move on down into his torso area and in his arm articulation. It does move up and down. It does go 360 all the way around. Carnage does have a bicep swivel, which is a little bit rare. That's pretty cool that he has that. There's a double jointed elbow, so you can get a nice deep bend on his elbow. He does have articulation in his hand, 360. His hand does move up and down, so awesome articulation all the way around. The only thing they didn't do is put some articulation in those fingers, which would have been really awesome if they would have, but no big deal. Very minor practicality there. His paint in black and red looks so good. It just pops. Look at these tendrils just flying off him. He looks amazing. He does have an ab crunch, bends about that far down, and bends backwards as well, about that far. So not huge on that, but good deep bend on his front ab crunch. He does have waist swivel. And then as we get into his legs, they do move outward and back about that far. And they do move forward quite a bit as well. He does have upper leg swivel all the way around. He does have that double jointed knee. All right. So then we got a calf too that does some rotation. Wow, what a wonderful way to make this figure. His foot does move up and down quite far, and lo and behold, he does have the almighty ankle pivot. So you gotta love that. His articulation is wonderful. On his back, he's got these tendrils that you can move around any direction, and you can take them off. They have this little tab on them there, and then you can just plug them right back in when you're ready to put them back on and pose him however you want. So really a lot of options with Carnage here to pose him in the coolest ways possible. Carnage will come with some accessories for your Green Goblin Build-A-Figure. And the first accessory are these flames. Very nice mold on the flames. And on the underside, you can see that in the light there, it's kind of molded to fit into Green Goblin's back. So that fits on him really nicely, along with those up on top. Really seal the deal. So that's a nice piece. But the best piece is the head of Green Goblin. That's right. There is nothing like a little good head with your action figures. Let's give it a quick 360 glance on that sculpt. Looks very nice, very shiny, very detailed. You gotta love that. So those are the accessories that Carnage will come with for your Green Goblin. And we've come to the moment where we've all been waiting for, and that is to grade Carnage in 4 areas. And the first area we have is appearance. Carnage's appearance is second to none. It is amazing. I'm going to give him a straight 10 on that. And into articulation. Now, this Carnage figure is probably the best articulation I've seen to date. However, there were 2 things that I wished were there that they were not. So those 2 things include the finger articulation. I really wanted to see that here. Also, his mouth does not close, so it always looks like he's got this slack jaw gaze, like a hot chick just walked by or something. I really wanted to close that just in case the chick was ugly. So for articulation, Carnage gets a 9. When considering durability with Carnage, he is a very durable figure, don't get me wrong, but those tendrils can be ripped off so easily by a child. I mean, those things are going to get thrown across the room. They're going to be falling in people's soup while they eat it. It's going to be horrible. So those tendrils do cause a little bit of a problem with his durability. Otherwise, he's pretty solid. So I'm going to go ahead and give him an 8 on durability. And in the final field of collectability, Carnage is not an exclusive figure, but he is so flippin' hard to find anywhere. So, in my collection, he'd be front and center. The coolest looking Carnage figure to date. I'm going to give him a 10 in collectability. That is a perfect 10, folks. And for Carnage's overall score, he gets 9.25. Ladies and gentlemen, go buy this figure along with some toilet paper for when you squirt your drawers after opening him. G1 Toys has spoken and given the true review for Carnage. Our lesson today is that even evil gets a lucky break. G1 fans, if you like our review of Marvel Legends Carnage, please show your support and subscribe. We promise to make more detailed reviews for your viewing pleasure. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Now, sit back, relax, read a comic, and channel your inner toy.
I am Carnage and I approve this message.
They say freak when you're